and it's over. Real Madrid indeed did lose. I said it. I told you guys. I didn't get the match preview out. This wasn't by choice. It was just unfortunate that I couldn't record it properly. But I did tell you guys in my match review of the Valencia game, I did say this would happen. I spoke about this and it happened. Maybe I'm the one who brought this into existence. Because if you go back and watch my Champions League phase draw review, I looked at all the teams that we were drawn. I looked at the positions they were in coming into the season. I looked at their signings. I broke down everything and I said it. I said, from these 8 teams, realistically, to be safe, we need to beat 6. And then we can afford to lose one and draw another one. But to be fully safe, we need to beat 6 teams. That's 18 points. We need 18 points. And if we can draw one and lose one, that's 19 points. That's more than well enough to get us into that top 8. But we didn't do that. Because I said that there's one team, realistically, if you told me, and I've been saying this, and I said it in this, and I made sure I reminded people that I said this. I said, if there's 8 teams, if you told me we are not going 8 for 8, we're not going to be on some Bayern movement where it's looking like we're going to go 8 for 8. If you told me that you have to lose, I said, I know the game we're going to lose. I knew it, and I said it because I said this game is going to be the most difficult. Even before I saw our team performing, even before I saw how they were performing, I just knew from the game, the setup, the structure, everything. I said this would be realistically the game that will lose. And I was right, because I said that game is this one, which is Liverpool versus Real Madrid at Anfield. We lost the game. It ended 1-0. I have problems. I knew realistically that coming into this game, we might not take a win. We might be vying for a draw. And I told you guys, I said, I don't care if they've won. See, I basically gave you a preview. I gave you everything but a prediction. And it's good I didn't, because I wouldn't have guessed this in a million years. That we would go there and end goalless. That we would go there and our top striker, seemingly getting into some form winger, our best midfielders, our best right wingers would just absolutely collapse when the fight began. This game, for me, was a harsh game because Liverpool won 1-0 at Anfield. The goal was scored by Alexis McAllister in the 61st minute from a free kick delivered by Dominic Szoboszlai. An interesting free kick because it comes off, I'll say not fully unnecessary, because it was getting close to the box. He was encroaching the box, but a rather late delayed tackle from Jude Bellingham, who then gets carded for that. And then the free kick happens and they score from that. And then the deliberation whether McAllister was onside, and guess who's keeping him onside? It's Bellingham again. Now, I'm not saying this just to badger him. I'm just saying this because for me, this was the perfect example of this game. It's just unlucky, wrong places, wrong times, just not at your best. We had 100% record going into this game. We beat Marseille. We beat Kairat Almaty, and we beat Juventus. And now it is over. We have lost. We have lost our first Champions League game of this season, and we have lost to Liverpool. Our 100% record in the competition is over. It was ended last night. The match had very a lot of moments to break down piece by piece, match by match. But I'm going to just summarize this game because I don't really want to talk more about this game, because our performance in this game, it wasn't impressive. It just wasn't impressive. We let this game happen. It's one of those games. It happened against PSG. It happened against Atletico Madrid. This team sometimes, and it almost happened against Barcelona had they just not been at full strength. This team is allowing other teams to, absorb all of us and let our defense be put at the helms of stopping everything they send. But let's look at this match as the tactical performances and some highlights that happened in the game. So, early on in this game, Liverpool, they showed intensity. They showed control in their attacks. They were flowing. They were sending different attacks. They were sending multiple streams going through. They were playing confidently against one of the biggest teams in this competition because they even had that confidence building from last season. They beat us last season. We were technically the ones coming in for some form of revenge. There was the story. Mbappe needed his revenge. I said it. He needed his revenge. And by good God, he has completely stolen Mohamed Salah's position because now he's the one who needs that revenge. And he's the one who keeps failing to get it because what was that? We dominated the possession in this game. We should have had around 61%, but we still could not create enough chances to convert. We were still failing to get past their line. We were still failing to break their defense. We were still failing to get the goal and mark. Mbappe in this game had 1 touch in the opposition box in the first half and had 4 touches in the opposition box in general in the match. How is that possible? Vinicius Jr. started off kind of bright. I believed something could happen. He had that chance where he even ended up giving Bellingham. Bellingham skills it, signs it to the near post. Mamardashvili, who played an absolutely beautiful game, even though he didn't have to do much, saves it. But then from there, we all know what happened. Conor Bradley, this guy, Liverpool's left back, shout out, outstanding performance from him. He was giving a standout defensive showing because he locked down Vinicius, and last year he locked down Mbappe. He's showing them that this is a big league. You have to come with the best. I know you see me, you might think, oh, I'm just a replacement guy. They're not even playing Frimpong. There's a reason they're not playing him, because this guy was amazing. I'll give him a standing O for that one. McAllister, again, decisive in the midfield, decisive in stepping up, decisive in their build-up play, decisive with that final goal. Szoboszlai, big influence and big build-up for set pieces, was there to chase the ball, was attacking a lot in that first half. Sure, I think he even had one, that amazing save from Thibaut Courtois, who we'll get to in a second here. And then we have something I think when I saw this happen in the game, I realized it's not our day. Florian Wirtz drops the performance that Liverpool fans have been trying to defend him for these past 5-6 weeks since he joined them. He had his best game. In and out, I'm telling you, he might have still not even got the stats, but let's not be stat freaks for a second. This guy had his best game today. He was running. He was chasing the ball. He was picking up from the back. He was passing around. Salah kind of had a dead game for me. That's the only thing. Carreras didn't have to do much. He was locking him in. He was locking him up. I won't blame the defense too much, but I also won't give them leeway because this score does not reflect this game at all. This score makes it look like we were lock-ended and then they broke free. No, this game we were playing a 1v11 and they scored. And that 1v11 is purely because of the one guy who was standing for us. And that is none other than Mr. Thibaut Courtois. This guy, I said it, I've been saying it to people. I said, this guy is still one of the best keepers in the world. And he proved it once again. Maybe he's got that extra juice in him when he sees Liverpool, because again, just like in 2022, just like in that same 2-0, again, he's putting on the big performances when it's needed. He was making save after save after save after save. He was making saves where I assumed, okay, it's finished. We've just conceded. That's just how it's going to happen. But Courtois played very well for me. He made some crucial saves. He was preventing a heavier defeat for this team, and we should thank him because we failed him. As a team, they failed him. The defense was okay. They didn't have their worst game, but this was a lack of control. This was a lack of making decisive movements. We were all over the place. Tchouaméni and Camavinga, they were not cohesive enough with the attack. Ardigula was sleeping. Bellingham was sleeping at the wheel today. Who's this who came on? Rodrigo came on. I didn't even believe he was going to do much in that game because he was already dead. Brahim Diaz came on. I know he wasn't going to do much. Mbappe, I've said it, he was dead at the wheel. Vinicius Jr., he was being held down and he was locked down. And when he was locked down, I knew Mbappe's locked down because that was our only play because we don't have a certified right winger. And I love Master Antoine. You know I love him. I hope for the best for him. But if you had to ask me today, would you sign a decisive right winger? I would tell you yes. And not to bring up like a comparison or anything, but look on the other side. I'm recording this after because I wanted to watch their game. Look at what Lamine Yamal did for Barcelona against Club Brugge. That is what happens when you have a decisive right winger. But then also when they have Rafinha, that's how they always beat us. You have to be able to be a team that when I'm attacking, when Gula's moving that ball through the middle, he can send it left, he can send it right, he can send it straight. We know for a fact every single attack we're gonna send a lethal one has to go through the passing order, the pecking order from Gula to Valverde to Bellingham to Vinicius to Mbappe. Why must it always be the same thing? Everyone in that team just works around the same mentality of we have to send everything through Mbappe. And look what happens on a day like this where he's just been completely locked down. They've just put him to the side. It's same thing happened against Arsenal. First leg, second leg, we had no path. They locked him down and so it was done. Some key takeaways from this game for me, because I'm just going to talk about this one quickly. It was a game that was bad. If I'll tell you, even watching the highlights can paint a good picture of this game. Set pieces mattered in this game. Liverpool's goal came from a set piece. It was the free kick I'm talking about from Szoboszlai. They were having some crazy dead ball situations, and this kept coming because of Courtois saving. But at a certain point, why is it always having to go to him? Why does he have to be the last line every single time we play a big team? Because we were still hoping on him even against Atletico Madrid. We were hoping that he would do the thing, but then our defense fell apart. We were praying that he could help us in the Club World Cup when we played PSG in that 4-0. But even then, the defense fell apart. Why must it always be that he's at the helm? He's the one who has to do 10 times as harder in that defense to make a change. Why must it always be like that? I wonder, you guys wonder, I don't know if they wonder this. We had a very big mismatch in this game between the position and efficiency. We had the ball, but we just lacked cutting edge. We lacked that attacking bravado. We lacked control. We just looked like we didn't have an idea. But on the other side, of the polar opposite side of Liverpool, they were efficient. They had less of the ball and did what they needed to do when they had the ball. That's how useful they used their position. Because if we have the more position in this game the way we did, does it matter if we're not finishing the chances? Does playing good in around the midfield at times help when the ball is just dying in the midfield? Look at how they split apart their midfield. Szoboszlai was moving through the right, Wirtz was moving through the left, McAllister was holding it down in the middle, and they were sending it efficiently, still working with the three in the attack. They were working with Kitike, who I didn't mention his name, but also had a beautiful game, could have had a goal today. And I've been saying how good he is. I said I feared him. Liverpool in this game, they looked disciplined. They looked like Arne Slot. He set out the memo of how he wants his team to play, and they followed it. We looked like we were the less able side to make a breakthrough in this game. Our man management of this guy, Mr. Xavi Alonso, it was dead today. I'm not even just gonna be one of those people who we lose and we blame the coach, If we win, it's the players did well. If we lose, it's the coach did well. But genuinely, this was a fail from everyone, maybe apart from Courtois. But this was a fail in his management in the sense of, first of all, those substitutions. Why did he bring on those substitutions so late? Why did he not start to shift things? I know you have your system in place, but when it's not working, it's not working. And this is why, you guys, I want to make this point. I want to highlight this point. You see why now, when we go, I'll take you back 2 weeks. You might have thought maybe we're crying, maybe we're being a bit abrasive, maybe we should listen to the coach. But now someone actually, from a tactical standpoint of watching the games, explain to me how this game, you believe Vinicius Jr. should go for the full 90, but in the El Clasico, it was Owen Well taking him off in the 72nd when he's having a good game. These are the moments I'm trying to say. I'm not even trying to make an agenda. I'm not trying to say he hates Vinicius. I'm not trying to say he doesn't he doesn't have control of the team. I'm saying from a tactical standpoint, his man management on the field sometimes is that of a junior coach. It's showing sometimes against big teams. It really shows that this guy hasn't coached at this top level, and it's showing, it's seeping through the way he plays. And you can talk about Leverkusen. That's still not as big. Managing Leverkusen is nowhere near managing the names he's managing now. There you take out your top star. He's upset. It doesn't even break anything but German news unless it's in the Champions League. Here, you sub out Vinicius Jr. He just gets upset once. It's big news. Everyone's asking, do you have an agenda? I don't want him to go into that final stages of Ancelotti's managerial career with us, where you start getting scared to remove certain people because you're dreaming, you're hoping. He's comfortable in every other game doing that Vinicius Rodrigo substitute. Tell me why this time you go and put him in the position, the same exact position he's told you he's not comfortable playing in. At this point, I told you guys, I made my peace in the previous episode. I said if he has to leave, if it has to be alone, if he has to go, he has to find his way. I bless him and I send him his best. But we cannot still be doing this. We still can't be trying to play him on right wing, hoping for some 2022 Rodrigo vibes. He wasn't even out and out a full right winger back then. It's not working. You leave Vinicius Jr. to play the full match. You leave Mbappe to play the full match. Heck, I know we don't trust it, but you're 1-0 down. Mbappe's looking less likely to score a goal than Courtois. Courtois was looking more likely to score a goal in this match, and you don't even at least try Endrick. Even if it's to bring him on the time you started bringing on the subs. Why did you bring on Trent so late? You could see in this game we needed midfield Valverde. We didn't need right back Valverde, because even though in and about the field, from the left flank, they were attacking well and they were hitting us strong, we still didn't need. I don't think we fully needed right back Valverde in this game. He would have helped, but it came at a cost. And then you bring on Trent Alexander-Arnold for the last 9 minutes of this game. And for me, that's what just showed me that he just lost the plot, because it's more like he just brought him on even for the storyline of how will they react. I have to bring on Trent in this game. I have to play him more so than I need to have him, because now I need to do tactics. Because what did Trent do? Trent just started moving forward and started playing that midfield role, because on the left there was nothing. They brought in Gakpo. Gakpo cuts in deep. He doesn't go through the wide side. He cuts in deep, so that there was no reason for the right back being there. So why did you just make that step earlier? Remove people from the midfield like Camavinga, who are having a slow day at the office. Put in Valverde in that position. Have him help Bellingham. Have him free up that attacking running space for Kylian Mbappe and send it to him. Why are these decisions not being made? You can make them against the Valencia. You can make them against the Mallorca. You can make them against the Sociedad, but you can't make them against the PSG. You failed to make them against an Atletico Madrid. You basically failed, but we just got lucky of the draw that you didn't do them against Barcelona, and now it's happened again. He's not having the best record against big teams. Just like another man I'm talking about in our midfield, Arda, I have a qualm to pick with him. I love how well you're playing. I know I did this so well. I know I talk about you so brightly and I still believe in you, but you have to step up in big games. You cannot be going to the sidelines in big games. This team needs to wake up and start playing good. But for one point I'll make for you, psychologically for me, the momentum impact for this. For Liverpool, this is a confidence booster. They might go on and continue playing well. And well, thanks to us and their last game, they're not going to be set forth on a path. Maybe they might still lose. They've got City over the weekend. I don't know how that game's going to go. But for us, it's a caution sign. And I'm happy it's another caution sign that we're getting early, that Xavi Alonso's getting early, that he's not being hit with when it's too deep and we start to look at you with two eyes. Right now, we're still giving you your time. But for me, I needed this result because I started to get excited. I got to get too excited because I forgot that we're still not going to that level. We're still not playing Real Madrid level. I got cocky. I said death taxes Mbappe performing in a big game. I guess I'm paying my taxes. I'm dying, and Mbappe has just disappointed me. I said Vinicius Jr. needs to lock in that game. He didn't lock in. I said our midfield, if they can play as well as they did, be as efficient and as fast as they did, we just had possession because they gave it to us and we did nothing with it. The way the group is set up now, I believe we should be level on points. I think we're 8th, they're 7th now. We're now just at that 8th position. Bayern, Arsenal, Chelsea haven't lost yet. Oh no, Bayern, Arsenal, Inter, haven't lost a game yet. They're sitting at 12 points. Where are we on the table? We're 8th now. We're going closer and closer. Barcelona drew to Bruges there now. I think they're now 11th, if I'm not mistaken. We need to wake up. We need to hold tight. We've got our next game, which should be Rayo Vallecano, and then we have that international break. But Vallecano, we deserve a win. You need to show us a good game. You need to play well. Coming back Champions League, it should be the 26th. You have Olympiacos. We need to play well in that game. We need a win. I don't care now if we're away in that game. This is a must-win game. We're going to have 5 games. If you can go 5 games, 1 loss, I have no problem with you. I have a problem with the game, but as a whole, I expected this defeat. I expected that this would be the humility, the humble pie moment that I have to take and say, okay, let's regroup. But now, we need to make sure that we're doing well in all of these games. Because though sometimes we have position quality, we have good positioning, we are limited. We get limited in these big games. We don't make the right adjustments. Our defenders are playing well, but sometimes You just have to score more. I'll give an example of Barcelona. Look at their style of play. They play gun-ho risky. We, in our wildest dreams, can't hope to play that because we don't have what it takes to let a team score 2 goals, 3 goals, because we can score 3 goals, 4 goals. We don't have that. We have to absorb because we know that if a team gets 1 above at the right time, if they get 2 above at the right time, we're going to have a PSG game. We're going to have an Athletic Bilbao game or Atletico Madrid game. We're going to have El Clásicos last season type of games. We don't know how to absorb that pressure and keep moving with this team. And I know it's early doors. It's good that we're having these things, but sometimes it's also good to just have a good season, starting off good. But we have a lot to look at for the future. Olympiacos, we need to win that game. After Olympiacos, I believe it's Manchester City. Depending on how we're both performing at that time, I'll see what happens. But for me, realistically, I believe we should be at the Bernabeu for that game and not the Etihad. If we're at the Bernabeu, I will be expecting a win in that game. Or that could be the other draw, because that's 6th game. We draw that one, but if we draw that one, it means those last 2 games, I don't care who we're playing, I'll go check it out, but those last 2 games have to be must wins. You have to certify them. If we lose to City, if we lose or draw to City, those last 2 games have to be wins. If we win against City, you still have to certify 2 games as wins, but you can draw 1. You can afford to draw 1. We can afford to go 6-1-0. That's 6-1-1. Sorry, 6 games, 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. We can afford that and still end in a top 8 position. Because in and out of the fact that Bayern, Inter, and Arsenal are in that fear as the only 4 teams to still be perfect, Bayern's next game is Arsenal. Arsenal's next game is Bayern. One of them is inevitably dropping points, or both of them are dropping points. This next week against Olympiacos, that's why I'm saying this game is important. We need to win, because everyone below those 3 teams now will be chasing that win from position 4 to position like 14, who will have to be chasing those, because when those guys drop points, they have a chance to now catch up to them. We can certify ourselves in top 8. We can still go far. But what are you guys' thoughts about this game? Leave them down for me in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you want to see in the future. Tell me what you think is wrong with this team. Maybe I'll even make a video responding to those. But make sure you also like this video. Please make sure, if you could, kindly comment your thoughts again. Make sure you share the podcast with your friend. It helps us grow here at Real Talk. And make sure you follow the podcast for those of you who are listening on these platforms, and subscribe for those of you on YouTube. But this match, for me, wasn't our best game. We need to do better. We can't make this a status quo that every big game we play, like a serious level, full-on team A is fit, team B is fit, we just expect that we're not going to do our best. Where is that passion? Where is that true Madrid spirit? Vinicius Jr., your perfect record against Liverpool. I talked about it. I flexed it. It's over now. I have nothing to defend. And look at the performance you dropped. You've now lost to them. You know what defeat feels like to them on the field. So we need to shape up. We need to work hard. We need to come back stronger. We need to not focus on this. Look to the future. If we meet them down the line, we need our revenge. We'll get our revenge there. Mbappe, you need to start seeing how you can mesh best with Vinicius. Because this thing where if Vinicius can't cut out and you can't go deep, Vinicius plays well with an attacker who he can cross to. You two clashing on that left, passing around, you need to find a way to make cohesion, because you're professionals. You need to find a way to do this. You need to put it together. You need to work well with the midfield. You need to work well with the defense. Courtois, keep doing what you're doing. I love you, by the way. This guy, I can go into another 20 minutes just talking about Thibaut Courtois in this game, but I think I'll try and put pictures, as I'm saying this, of all the saves he made, or most of the saves, big saves he made in this game. Impeccable. But we can do this. We can come back stronger, and we will look down. We'll look to Rayo Vallecano to continue our stint as being top of the league, and against Olympiacos after the international break. Hopefully, we should win that game, get back to winning ways in the Champions League. But hopefully, we come back stronger. We come back even more focused, and Xavi Alonso, you can continue being the good manager and the great manager I know you are and will be. Hala Madrid. Peace.